I feel like now people will be either watching or downloading or getting ready for this thing just to see the Rhettster go volcanic, just to see to what levels he's agitated or irritated with what's happening with the Flames.
Well, and I think last Thursday they lost in Detroit, and we had the afterburner with Rhett, and he ran into some tech issues, and he really couldn't go full scorched earth.
Right. Yeah.
And Friday, sensational. How did last night go with afterburner?
It was, you know what, we went live last night, and a lot of comments came rolling in, and there's not a lot of people. I don't know that there's anybody or many people who are disagreeing with the Rhettster. Not to do the same show. There we are. You know, there's
look at us.
The Rhettster. Look at me. I'm kind of like, oh, are you?
Hey,
very kind of.
Just so you know, that's a pajama shirt.
Is it? I thought that was your Saskatoon Blazers shirt or whatever it was.
The Raiders. No.
What do you got there? Some Confederate flag hat? What are you wearing?
Oh boy.
No, that's a Salty Crew hat. I told you about the Salty Crew guy. The Salty Crew was this guy. He was a bit of a degen, and then he came up with this brand, the Salty Crew, down in Florida. Great name, like for down there fishing and all that cool stuff. And then I'm probably getting in trouble for saying this, but then he offed his girlfriend and tried to act like he was just drunk and stuff. And I think he's in the slammer.
Doing some hard time, and you're repping him. That's you gotta prop up your murderers.
The rumor was that he shot his girlfriend, and then it was like I didn't know it was low. It was didn't mean to, but he disappeared for like 3 days afterwards. They're like, well, where'd you go, bud?
Are you sure this isn't like Oscar Pistorius? Somebody was breaking into the bathroom.
We were playing cops and robbers.
Yeah. I've got a Salty Crew hat, the big straw summertime drunk hat. Yeah,
they're awesome.
Anytime you can get some money into some murderers' hands behind bars.
I know.
No. Sorry. He sold the company. He sold the company.
Okay, that's all right then.
So he's not running it anymore. Sorry.
Alex is saying this feels like this should be a pre-show story, probably not main show. Anyway, you saw the shot there of Afterburner from last night, and I'll let you dive right in. For those that didn't catch it last night and are wondering what is the Rhettster thinking after a 4-3 loss on the road to wrap up the road trip. Again, they had a lead of 3-1 with 2:14 remaining. 2 goals in 46 seconds, and then the winner in historic fashion. We'll explain it when the Senators find a way to win it in overtime. Retro.
Am I supposed to freak out now, or are they playing?
Well, no, I'm waiting for you to. You can just freak out. We'll play it a little bit later.
Sorry. I thought you said you were going to play it.
No, it's fine. Okay. No.
I'm not freaking out because this is the team that they have, and Markstrom is. I think he's proven that he's can't handle stress in life right now. Can't play when there's pressure on. Vladar's got to go in, but I'm almost beyond. I'm resigned to the fact that this is the squad you're going to watch for the rest of this year. And the only exciting part that's going to come out of all of this is what happens in the offseason, because there's no way you can duplicate last year, can you? But you might have to. You might have to absolutely have a bigger. Is it possible that you're going to need a bigger offseason this year than last year?
I think there's lots of chapters to be written left this year still. I don't know what this tier is going to be. Like, where would you have them on the in a row to the playoffs confidence meter for Rhett? Like, if it's if there's
I haven't had him in very much this year.
So where are you at after last night?
About a month. I thought a month ago I said they were going to figure it out and get in, and now I'm rethinking it. I'll go back to our Friday conversation. The problem is that if they get in, I think they get shellacked. And the only thing saving them,
I think it's two different conversations. What are they, and can they get into the playoffs?
Yeah, and I honestly still don't. Like, I think this group would be very, very improved with Vladar out of playing 5 out of 6.
Let's go there, because you threw it out there last night and you made no bones about it that Markstrom looks like he's broken. And it's about the third or fourth time this season where we've kind of taken a step back. Either he said, I suck at hockey,
Or he doesn't need to,
or
because it's
goals
obvious.
that have gone in, or performances. And you wonder, where is the guy from a year ago? Where's the guy that led the league in shutouts, that was carrying the team on his back for stretches? He looks nothing like the guy that was here a year ago. Oh, you're muted. Alex, if you want to play that clip, you can. If you want to play it.
I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about it. I don't think Markstrom can handle pressure.
I don't even know what to think with him right now. There's
so many praise him.
There's so many things that are happening. First period, breakdown, breakaway, 1-0. It's a breakaway. I don't know how you can necessarily blame the goalie. It just how many times you're rattling off. Oh, there was the one against Laine against Columbus, and there's this one against. It just feels like every 3 or 4 games he's having to face one of those shots early on. Whether or not he can handle the pressure, 'cause you do the voodoo thing, Pinder, and it's about goalies are weird. I don't think he's injured.
No.
I don't think it's the same guy standing in that crease wearing the gear
That had 9 shutouts last year.
It's all between the ears.
Yeah, I think there's probably technically some stuff going on, but I think a lot of it is between the ears. He's a new dad for the first time. Not that he'd be an old dad. There's lots going on, and I think he knows he's having a bad year and trying his ass off. But that I don't know that trying harder is kind of the thing, right? Like it's like in baseball, it's like don't get in the batter's box and try harder. You got to. All this is reflex and instinct. You can't be thinking. You got to be reacting out there. And he's having an awful year. Everyone knows that. It doesn't mean he won't be back to respectability at another point. Like we joked about Marc-Andre Fleury posting a sub 900 in Pittsburgh, a goals against above 3, then going to Vegas with a pick to get rid of him, and he wins the Vezina. Like these guys are up and down like crazy. Never mind this guy who's had all kinds of ups and downs in his career, including clearing waivers in Vancouver before becoming a starter.
I feel like Fleury had gone on some deep runs, though, as a part of his history.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's Fleury. I'm saying that goalies are volatile, and I think we all know that. That even guys going to the Hall of Fame have years where they look like they've lost it.
Not usually, though. Who?
And the one thing that we talked about was that they're going to have to find a way to lessen the workload. If they can lessen the workload, that will be the answer. And the workload has been lessened. He hasn't been injured, and he's playing some of the worst hockey he has as a Flame.
Yeah.
Can I jump in there?
I think please.
Only because it's in that vein of thought. But the vein of thought was that he was playing too much and he couldn't. Once the playoffs started, he was fatigued and he ran out. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's been answered. He can't handle pressure.
He has in the past, though. I mean,
when?
I don't like this year. He hasn't. Well, I mean, he's great against Dallas. You could not allow 2 goals in that Dallas.
4 fucking games. But that's. And then what did he do against Edmonton when the pressure really ratcheted? Like
he was dog shit, just like the rest of the team. I mean, yeah, he wasn't good.
But
I think about overtime in Game 7 of Dallas. He makes a huge save on a breakaway that can end the series. I mean. Right now, I agree with you, Rhett, but we can't wash away, the vast majority of this guy's career. He's been a very good goaltender.
He's done horse shit in the playoffs. You guys put no fucking stock in someone that can actually play fucking hockey in the playoffs. You do it. You always do. Ole Jokinen, 112 points, and what a player. Huberto, 550. Way to go. Doesn't do fuck all when it matters. Fuck all.
Remember when he was mad we were swearing too much?
Let him go.
Yeah.
Done. Like you don't though.
No, hey, look.
Playoff numbers. Giordano, greatest player ever. Can't fucking help win a fucking playoff game. Pardon my language, folks. Just mute.
I think he's been on some bad teams, and I'm not here to tell you that.
Sakes.
No.
Just common response of everyone that says what. So how was fucking Marty Brodeur's teams? They were all just fucking superstars, right? Like he had nothing to do with them winning.
He played behind the fucking trap. Go look at Vancouver's defense when Mark.
So what?
Sorry, dude. They're not the same. They're totally different. Vancouver.
You're right. They're not the same. Marty Brodeur was a stud.
Yeah, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and Markstrom's not going to be there. I'm not telling him he's Marty Brodeur. I'm saying that he's not handling pressure well this year. That doesn't mean he can't and did not before.
I'm asking you to prove to me when he handled the pressure so well that you're talking about.
I thought the Dallas series was the example I gave.
So
one really good there.
10-day stretch of his life, he's showing that he's a hot. So he won one series, and he didn't win it all on his own. So he has had one series win. How's he won other series? What did he do in Vancouver?
Yeah.
He didn't do shit in Florida.
In the bubble, they won one, but they were underdogs.
Was it him?
I mean, I just don't think he was good teams.
Was it him?
It was him and Demko. Both of those guys played significantly in the bubble. But look, I'm not here to tell you he's the savior. I'm not here to tell you he has to be your number one anytime now or next year. I'm just saying the easiest mistake you can make on a goalie is look at the present and think it's everything. Right? Like Cam Talbot can't be a goalie in this league anymore was the motto in Edmonton, and he's played like 6 years since. It was one bad year. I just think this is clearly a bad year, right? It doesn't mean he can't be a good goalie again. I just think it's time to move on. And honestly, like for today's discussion, it doesn't really matter. Like you got to ride Vladar, give him a huge run here. If they don't see Markstrom again, I could give a shit this year. Like really, it's just not happening for him. Whether that's off ice, between the years, technically, whatever. I don't care.
I don't disagree with that point. I don't care either. But then you're going to have a Markstrom who's chewing up $6 million in cap, and if you have any success with Vladar, you're going to have a $6 million backup.
He's locked in for 2 more years at 2 3/4, and I would think if you think Markstrom cannot be a top 40 goalie in the league or a top 30, you can buy him out. I mean, it's not pretty, but it'll save you some cap space.
The question is, what's happening? What are we watching? Because it's the same guy. There's no. We saw he took the knee to the head from Tanner Pearson in Vancouver, and then he wasn't right. Okay, well, he was concussed. He had to sit. And in the past, he's had certain injuries, and that's affected his play. Now, unless he is injured and being trotted out there, but I don't think that's the case. He has, in 36 starts, 14 victories, 2.93 with an .891 save percentage, 1 win in his last 8 games.
Yeah, hasn't been good enough.
He's not a good backup.
No.
Right now.
No. And honestly, like if there was something nagging him, you know what you do? You put him on fucking IR and bring up Wolf, who the coach likes because he's watching his kid play on that team all the time and who is stopping everything he's seen in front of a decor that doesn't include a lot of great AHL defensemen. Like it's time to move along past we got to build back up Markstrom.
Oh, so a good goalie is covering for a bad. So the good goalie is actually playing through the bad team, so you can do that. Okay, just was curious.
Yes, just like Markstrom has at other junctures of his career. Okay. It's a bad year for Markstrom. We're clearly in agreement on that.
I wanted to show this tweet. One of our guys out in Vancouver with Canucks Army, Wyatt Arndt. He's been in Vancouver a long time, watches the Canucks as, different members of the media and whatnot. And Markstrom's an interesting study because he comes to Vancouver and what was he in Florida? He's a first top prospect, didn't quite turn the corner, but man, he's so big and he's so athletic, and he gets to Vancouver and it took a while there. And then all of a sudden this guy is terrific, but he has these ups and downs. And if we have the tweet, I'd like to kind of take a look at it. It was just kind of his, Wyatt's reaction to it, that you look for certain things and you love to see Markstrom competing, but when he's kind of, and I said it to Rhett last night, he had a slip beside the net on the one play. Prior to that, he had missed a couple of rims in behind the net that he couldn't get to. And then right before, I think it's the DeBrincat goal goes in, he's chopping away at Tkachuk, who's really not even in the blue paint.
It's been a hothead this year.
Right now, Markstrom looks a lot like early Vancouver Markstrom. He's always been an emotional goalie, but at his best, he's dialed in and not slashing at someone, not even in his crease. On tilt, Marky is no bueno. Calgary needs to rent Ian Clark for a weekend. LOL.
Yeah, I don't think a weekend's going to fix anything here.
But this, you see
Yeah, I'd agree with
similarities.
Well, and it speaks to how frustrated it is. I don't think this is a easy peasy blow in the wind, I'd go with the flow guy. This is an intense and competitive, fiery bleep you guys. Like this is more Mike Smith than Mika Kiprasov in terms of his temperament.
What do you think? Where do you think Daryl's at? Retro, because it's about wins, it's about getting points, but he also loves to have a number one, and he's got. You can't. We can abandon Markstrom on the side, at a rest stop on the side of the road.
It's been done months ago. Yeah,
he can't. Right?
Yeah.
He's got to manage this team and that goaltending tandem. How does he do that now?
Wow, if you just look at it rationally, that's win at all costs right now, isn't it? Like you got to get points. You're in no position to try and massage this. So it has to be Vladar. Has to. I mean, Daryl can do whatever the hell he wants, and he's not going to have to answer to us. But I would have a hard time understanding his reasoning for playing Markstrom over Vladar. You can ask a lot of hockey minds. Yeah. It's Vladar, and when Vladar loses, if the schedule, then go ahead. Put Markstrom in. But
those two last
play
goals
till you
are just
lose.
so bad. Like, look where the game tying goal is shot. And I get he has to move laterally. He's a foot off the fucking goal line.
It's exactly where you want to push the puck to as defenders.
Like look where he's backing up here when he actually takes it. All he has to do is not be slouched. And on that post, there's nothing to look at.
DeBrincat is a great shooter.
Totally, but there should be no hole. Yeah.
But you feel like that's a low percentage shot from there.
You should give that. If you have to pick a spot where someone can fire, to Rhett's point, that should be fine. Now, yes, elite finisher that's having an off year, but still, there shouldn't be a hole. And to be fair, that's where Johnny won a series. But
yeah,
but still.
But the overtime goal.
Oh, it's like through him.
Stützle has a bit of a step, and we did just see it.
Barely.
But it's just not. You know what? That's that same area where the McDavid goal went on him from the sideboards.
Yeah, and
when this whole spiral kind of began.
Yeah. That looks like a guy that's in full panic because someone might shoot the puck. It's like, well, yeah, that's what you deal with, bud.
I don't like. I don't think anyone's guessing where his confidence is at right now.
He's wide open. He's got holes everywhere.
Yeah, and it's not like that's labeled.
And remember in that story, Ryan, in the second period, where it was a bit of a shooting gallery. The Flames were playing terrific. They had control of the game. But then on the power play, and they kind of fed off of that. DeBrincat just misses on the back door, and they missed 4 or 5 wide. And Markstrom was all over the place. The net was wide open. The net was empty.
It's Kari Ramo vibes where you might make the first one, but you're going to see the name bar too. And they're not in a position to make the 7-1 and to be the second one. And to be fair, that was Mike Smith before he got rebuilt after his first year in Edmonton, where it's like, if you are lunging at everything and over trying, guess where you are for a second chance. Nowhere in a position to make a save. And that's been him all year.
And it's so easy to read in on stuff, but that body language of Markstrom after the Stützle goal goes in.
Oh yeah.
And he just kind of stands up. It's I knew it was going in.
Oh,
it just looks like it's kind of of course.
You could feel the pucker at 3-2.
Watch Markstrom get up and leave the crease. Yep. Knew it.
It's the resigned, not even angry at this point. Like last time that happened, he hammered his stick on the crossbar and almost killed a ref. This time
you don't want to. I've brought this up before too. You know who you don't want to be? Jason LaBarbera. Because Big D
the Flames goalie coach. It's on.
Big D is not going to. He's going to the.
Yeah.
It's not just Markstrom that's going to be in the firing squad.
Well, and I'll
get your goalie ready.
I would not be surprised if the goaltending department has been saying for a while you need to play Vladar more. So he probably isn't happy with Jason LaBarbera, but I don't think Jason LaBarbera or anyone in that organization is surprised at this point. It's been what we've watched all year. The coach might be the last guy to be won over to play Vladar more. So I'm sure he's not happy, but he's been warned. I can assure you that.
I don't know if he responds to warnings. And if
no,
on Daryl's behalf, but that being said, at some point, that is LaBarbera's job to make sure the goals. It's
his job to fix Markstrom.
Yes, I don't
was
want
also
it.
his job
I
to
don't
develop
envy him.
Vladar.
Yeah, I think he's great. I love Barbs. He's a good dude. Blah blah blah. But that's what you got to deal with. That ain't no fun.
He almost looks like a guy, and this is the kind of year it's been. The I suck at hockey comments and all of that. And I'm not going to pretend to know. Is he about to have a kid? Did he just have a kid?
He just had a kid.
I don't, send him home for a bit.
Seriously.
Go be a dad.
And if
we got this.
If the one of the side effects of that is you also get to get a look at Wolf, like I don't see any downside there. He needs a break.
You've got 3 home games. You leave for a 3-game trip in Arizona, Vegas, and Colorado on Tuesday of next week. That's a week from today. Go be a dad. We'll see you in a week.
I mean, the whole giving him more chances that he hasn't earned thing hasn't worked. I'd be ready for something else. Like they come out of the All-Star break and you just watched Markstrom, albeit with a shitty effort in front of him, lose to Chicago. Vladar play well in Seattle. And they go right back to Markstrom out of the gate when everyone knows that your better goaltender the day you came out of the All-Star break was Vladar.
Not to let him off the hook, but should the Flames have been in a position to have been in a tie game heading to overtime with 2 goals in the final 3 minutes?
No, they outplayed Ottawa pretty well. I didn't mind a lot of that effort. I thought Huberdeau was starting to dance a bit, moving the puck around. I liked Dubé getting going.
They had that 5-on-3 for a stretch and didn't do anything with it.
They can't bury teams, and I don't know. 3-1 doesn't feel buried with Markstrom in net. With Vladar, I would be a lot less worried at 3-1. But you just almost were waiting for this, weren't you?
Happy for Dubé.
If you can't win a game with, again, what the hell are we talking about? So if you can't win a game when you're up 3-1, I don't care what goaltender's in net. I mean, they're both NHLers. And
yeah, you've got a 3rd-string goalie who's playing his 4th NHL game.
Yeah,
they're Jake Sanderson, their good young D-man. He's out. They got Zub and Zaitsev and whatever the hell else back there. And hey, they beat the Flames. We shouldn't be talking shit. But let's be honest.
No, you see the standings. You see what they are.
They are what they are.
Yeah.
And you know what they are? A team with the same number of wins as the Flames today.
Yeah. Wow.
Holy Christ.
One wakes up in a playoff spot, so I count your lucky stars if you want, what division you're in.
Is it 32 one-goal games now?
It was 32 before last night, I believe.
Jesus.
So, and this is where I don't want to, I'm not trying to say this team's real good, but if you just had one more save, how many nights, how many more points do you have in the standings? Are you fucking kidding me? They're 4-11 in overtime.
It's true, but I still go
one
back
more
to the
save, so many nights.
I know, but I still go back to the overall vibe of it all. They just don't have the vibe.
Good.
Markstrom's not saying he's not good at hockey if he's enjoying hockey, right? And again, yeah, he's not playing well, but I think if you're enjoying going to the rink, you're not having that drastic or dramatic a comment, Yeah, that was a tough one. I should have played it different. Blah blah blah. It could be better. You don't say I suck at hocky if you love being
back in November. Yeah,
whenever it was, right?
No, but it spoke to where his head was at, Rhett. I think that is. If you said it, Dean, the biggest issue with Jacob Markstrom is not an injury. I don't think it's something technical. I think it's all between his ears.
Yeah,
because that quote post game in the fall told you a lot about how he felt about himself.
I'm getting word in my ear here that apparently I think we're about to be sewered a little bit. Alex and Tan Man put together a little. Let's see what this is now. Little clip.
I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Ottawa's limping in here, and it's this should be easy. Mads Sogard, the former Medicine Hat Tiger, is going to get the start, and they brought in. Looks tall. Look at that.
Old Kevin Mandolese.
Manga.
So again, I'm not saying anything. No jinxie pants here. Just reporting the news. Anything you want to say?
Guaranteed win night? Is that what?
Shut up! God damn it! Well, you don't say that. No. DeBrincat 17.
What's going on with DeBrincat? I'm really curious about DeBrincat because it was go get him and extend him, and it's it hasn't been the bumper year for him. It's not with Kane. And it's like, are you signing up for another 3-4 years of Canada?
Fed back to the slot. Stutzla passing.
Still got it, boys.
Top shelf from a short range, and it's 3-3.
It's PTSD.
It's scar tissue.
Senators PTSD.
And that's kind of what backpack items are.
Yeah, it's long haul COVID.
Yes.
Senators PTSD.
Yeah.
That's my what I'm still carrying around from COVID is the fucking Senators.
All they have to do is start their better goalie, and none of these clips come up. It's not that complicated.
So between us shit talking guys on this show and then them performing and then doing afterburner after games, what's the like?
Are you dialed into the afterburner record, Rhett? Did it get mentioned last night?
Covering the wrong team. Maybe that's what we're doing.
2, 6, and 3. That's 11.
I was all excited because I was going with Boom. He's got the 2 wins, doesn't he? I thought, man, he's going to get the 3rd win here. He's on a roll.
Yeah, you're winless, aren't you, Rhett? No, you got 1. Yeah, Dean's got 2. You and I each have 1. Look.
Hey, did you know that Tim Stutzla became the first player in NHL history to factor in on 3 straight goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation and or overtime to help his team stage a multi-goal comeback?
Again, if they just started their best goalie. None of this bullshit that gets Alex all horny.
Had an assist on the Batherson, assist on the DeBrincat, and then, of course, scored the winner.
Just give it to him on the goal line. What a setup.
And you know what? This is a good time. While we're bathing in this, let's welcome more people into the misery, courtesy of the hearing loss clinic.
Oh boy!
In 1983, the hearing loss clinic was founded with a simple mission: make a positive difference in people's lives. It's never been about hearing loss or hearing impairment. They're going to make your life better. 4 Calgary locations. Even our buddy Kelly Rudy last night was having a tough night. Did you hear it? He hurt himself.
He's injured.
Let's take a listen here.
Poor
hurt. Kelly Rudy, right in the middle of the broadcast, almost needed medical assistance up in the press box. Tough night in Ottawa. Tough night in Canada. Goodness.
What a season. Ouch. Put my tongue. Oh, no. What a season he's having.
Bit his tongue right live on the...
Oh, I bit my tongue.
Tongue-tied, at a loss for words. Well, he's thinking it's 3-1.
Lots of chuckles at that point. 12:28 left in the third.
How many glasses of red wine will I get before takeoff tonight? Wonder how many...
They did come home last night, didn't they?
Yeah.
Hey, did they get more points than games played?
4 Calgary locations for the Hearing Loss Clinic. You can find them on their social media at The Hearing Loss on Twitter, Instagram, The Hearing Loss Clinic, and their website, of course, is hearingloss.ca. A 2022 Chamber of Commerce Professional Service Excellence Award winner, by the way. If you're having issues with your hearing, visit one of these locations. It's not something you have to live with. It can get better. It can be improved. And there are serious health risks that are linked to not getting it treated, not getting it looked at. It's not just about it being an inconvenience. It's an important thing. So there you go. Hearingloss.ca. I'm going to do it.
All right.
I'm going to be doing it soon. Travis is going to get me in there and start digging away. Maybe I just got a bunch of, you see those videos where they like spurting the water in there and friggin' potatoes come rolling out. It's like, what is that? Is that a lump of coal? Maybe that's the treatment I'll get in there.
Did you
it's been a lot of years sitting with headphones and radio and all that.
Just get your eye.
Put something in your ear as a child and it's still in there, maybe?
Some micro machine in there?
Yeah, paperclip.
Phew.
Hearing loss. So they are now back home after a 2-1-2 road trip.
Okay, what are they? Now Pinder is this is the BS that Pinder pulls all the time.
Did you say 2-1-2? Oh yeah, because
what are they?
Seattle, dude.
Seattle, yes.
They are very firmly a bubble team in a bad Western Conference this year. Can you be better than Minnesota the rest of the way?
They actually moved past Colorado in the standings.
Yeah, they got 3 games in hand and they're 1 point back. I'm not going to plan a
whatever.
parade on that one.
Yeah.
I'm still going to sort by points percentage there. And yeah,
That was somebody on the
they're absolutely ninth in the West, right?
on the chat last night. It's like, you guys are so negative. You know, they actually get a point and move up in the standings.
Oh, getting a point's better than no points. We're all in agreement there. But when you're up 3-1 with 3 minutes left, you can fucking seal the deal a few more times. That's twice this year in the third they've blown 3-1 leads.
Well, they had a 1-goal lead against the Rangers a week ago.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, good team. You'd love to, but it's when it's against bottom dwellers and teams in the Bedard mix that it really stings. You've dropped 2 to Chicago, 1 in overtime. You needed overtime to get past Columbus when they were in last place. Everyone in Ottawa thinks the rebuild's over. They're not in a good spot in the standings. I'm sorry. These are games you have to close out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You were saying 5 minutes ago, you were saying make a save or just beat shitty teams. You could do that. That would give you all the points you need to be solidly in a playoff spot.
If you use your better goalie, I think you could be second in the division pretty easily. It's like, what, 4 or 5 points?
Is there a dynamic there that Daryl's worried about? Obviously, he wants his number one, and Markstrom was a Vezina finalist last year. Is there something in the room that says we can't give Vladar the crease?
I don't think so. I think it's just we all got to a point at some point where you realize, or you think, or you've come to your own conclusion about Vladar being the guy. And some people got there sooner than others. I just think Daryl's the last guy to get there. That's all. But is anyone thinking Markstrom's a better shot to win these days? Like, anyone? I heard people last week that, worked the beat suggesting Markstrom. That seemed crazy. They've all turned course. I mean, look, he might fall on his face here, but it's been a much better season for one guy than the other. One guy puts you down early on one of the first 3 shots of the game. And you know what? This team doesn't score enough to like playing that way.
I don't honestly think it's Daryl sitting there. I mean, he's got the best seat in the house every night. He sees what's going on. I think it's about the dynamics between a starter and a backup and that guy who is your number one and all. I
think he was just playing a long game, but he's run out of runway now. Keeps thinking he can play him into form. But sorry, you got, 28 games left?
Well, yeah, but I don't think he's standing there and not seeing what Vladar is doing.
No, I agree.
I think that Markstrom keeps getting into the net because he's your guy. He's the starter. I
think it'll be curious to see who his guy is when they get home, because I think it might be Vladar. I do believe, like, last night felt a lot like that, the final straw on the camel's back, or whatever the expression is. You asked it last night for the buy and sell.
Who gets more starts the rest of the way? Vladar or Markstrom?
Got to be Vladar.
I think it's got to be Vladar, unless, and like you said, Rhett, unless they tumble way out and then you just split starts.
And if they tumble way out, don't be mistaken. Dustin Wolf's going to play some games.
Well, you say that now. And then in a month from now, why won't they bring Wolf up? These games mean nothing. Why won't they play this guy? Because we've been there before.
Well, they didn't like Louis Domingue because Louis Domingue doesn't try hard. This is a kid they love, and they want to see what they have.
A couple months ago when we were talking about the goaltenders, and before you go trading Vladar, what if you've got something in this guy?
I think you do have something there. He's big, and he's played very well in tight games, and he wins a lot more than he loses. Way a lot more. Write that down, kids.
Way a lot more.
Okay. What was it? 13 games in a row, he gets a point.
Yeah, he's just coming off.
You want to ride that guy?
He's just coming off from tying a franchise record point streak. So,
yeah, you're in a great spot with him. You've got him this year and 2 more at a very reasonable number. You got the top goalie in the American League. You just got to figure out what the hell's happening with the starter.
I'll tell you what, of all the things at the start of the year, if you just said, what's the issue? I wouldn't have said goaltending.
Nobody would have. No. You said 9 shutouts last year.
Is Shillington not coming back? Well, maybe that's a big hole you need to fill. Lots of changes up front. Maybe that's of all the things that you thought you could rely upon, it would be the goaltending.
The guy that finished top 4 in Vezina voting 2 of the last 3 years looks lost.
Way to go, Rhett.
Thanks, Rhett.
Yeah, I hate goalies. They never did me good.
I know.
You know what Rhett knows, though? A fucking elite goalie fixes a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah. Hides everything.
Like, I'm not stating something that everyone doesn't know, but to the point you're making here, I don't think I would ever put Markstrom in the Hasek and Kiprasov class, but I also wouldn't have put him in, one of the worst 10 goalies in the league class, which is where he's performed this year.
There you see on your screen, Mad Rose Pub, one of our great sponsors, day one, Mad Rose Pub. Matt and everybody at Mad Rose was on board. We've got tickets to the game coming up on Thursday. We'll trot out that contest for you on the program tomorrow. Some great seats to go and see game one of the homestand. Detroit, the Rangers, and then the Flyers coming up at the
How many goals have the Boston Bruins given up?
Oh, I think they're probably top 3 in goals against with Ullmark and Swayman.
Go look at it. Go look at it.
Are they number 1 by a mile?
Ridiculous. Oh,
Yeah.
it's 25.
Score a bunch and give up none. Yeah.
Goals against per game.
113 the next 113 the next
2.12. They're almost a
the
half
next
goal better
closest.
than the second best team in the league.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a matchup tonight. Boston-Dallas. The
Boston-Dallas.
fun one there.
Yeah.
Top 2 teams defensively. We like Ullmark in Buffalo. Remember that? We're like, this guy I think he's sneaky good.
I remember where Vladar came from.
Yeah. The Sway Dog. They can't keep them all.
Can't keep them all. Can't keep them all. Let's take a peek just to see, what's today in history, what's going on, because our buddies over at McLeod Law, they Calgary born and raised.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me you're going back to like the Flames losing 4 games in a row.
No,
in Ottawa
I'm
on
not
that
doing anything
shitty
like
fucking
that.
no fan pandemic season. If you do that, I'm going to swing on you.
McLeod Law, multifaceted, great people, down to earth. You get a vision in your head of law and all that. These are really good people. Peter Klein at the front of that class. McLeod-law.com is the website. Personal injury lawyer, among the numerous things that they do. If you've suffered personal injury and you're having some struggles trying to get things going your way, then Peter Klein is a guy you need to contact. 403-254-3864 on social media right across the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at McLeod Law LLC, helping to relieve your stress so you can focus on recovery. It's not a huge, super big moment in Flames history, but it's a guy that we've talked about sparingly. He would just kind of drop into our conversation, and usually it's God, he was good. God, he was good. We don't talk about how good he was. Man, he was good. On this date back in 1987, it was a 2-goal night, including a penalty shot in a 3-2 Flames victory on the road in Minnesota. It was goal, one of the 2 on the night, was goal 200 in the career of Joe Mullen. We do not talk about Joe Mullen nearly enough for what he did in Calgary. Now, it was a short stay, but he's a Hockey Hall of Famer. He was the first American player to 500 goals and 1,000 points, won a cup here in 89, 2 Lady Bings, went on to have 2 more cup wins in 91 and 92. Sorry, Rhett, with the Pittsburgh Penguins. As a Flame, 190 goals and 388 points in 345 games, and finished his career 502 goals, 1,063 points in 1,062 games. You look for those. Did he win a cup? Yep.
Ding.
A major award? Lady Bing. Yep. 500 goals, over a point a game. First American to hit that 500 and 1,000 plateau. He's one of truly, and I remember at the time, Hall of Famer, and you start to look at it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you pay close attention?
That's how good those teams were too, right? Like we talk about Gary Suter's numbers always being eye-popping, and like, oh yeah, Roberts and Nieuwendyk were there, and Makarov came in, and like, holy shit, they were deep. That was a good team, man.
Talk to guys that played with Mullen. Oh, they rave about him.
The one of 7 Flames to score 50 in a season. You guys want to take a swing at the other 6? I got it in front of me. There's some obvious ones. Nieuwendyk did it twice. Iggy did it twice. Lube's the only Swede ever to score 50. Best trivia on earth.
How much is that now? 3?
It's 3. You got 3 to go.
I got 3 to go. Oh, I can't.
Lanny had 66.
Yeah.
Whew. You had Gary Roberts with 53.
Yeah.
Also missed some games with Knox. Theo, you guessed? Or you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Theo had 51.
Of course.
Theo had 51 in 90, 91. So 2 years after the Cup.
What about Jason Weimer?
Weems, not seeing him here.
No.
A little down the list here. Yeah, no. Robert Reichel. Val Bure, Christian says no, he's not cracked the top.
It wasn't his role. That wasn't his game.
It's not his role. No,
It's
not
yeah,
his
we're
role.
teasing him.
And the last, just kind of a footer on the Joe Mullen as a Calgary Flame. How's this deal that brings him in? Calgary Flames get Terry Johnson and Rick Wilson and Joe Mullen for Eddie Beers, Charlie Bourgeois, and Gino Cavallini.
Oh, sensational. You hate to lose a name bar like Beers, but you get a 50-goal guy.
Yeah. Then he comes in, and as I said there, he puts up nearly 200 goals and 300 in the Stanley Cup and that sort of thing. They thought maybe at 33 years of age that maybe he was done, because in that last year, he had a steep drop in points. He went from 110 points to 69, 51 goals to 38. They thought maybe Joe Mullen's done.
Let's get him out of here.
Traded him to Pittsburgh for a second rounder.
So is this...
And then...
2 more cups in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
Yeah. 91, 92.
Yeah.
So is this a... careful what you wish for, with Jonathan Huberdeau doing the same thing? 110 points for Mullen, down to 69. Got to get rid of him.
Keep him. That's right, Rhett.
Yeah.
I'm sure the trees and the phone lines burnt down with offers for Huberdeau, but I just say be patient and wait and see what a bounce back looks like.
Maybe
I liked him last night. I thought he was...
I liked everything
Is there any
about the game.
Are there some positives out there that are we too negative? Is Pinder the voice of reason?
No, they're definitely a bubble team, and they look like a team that's not confident. I know we keep hearing on the broadcast how important it is to play all these 1-goal games. They're not getting better at it. They really are.
It's only important if you win them.
That's right. They're like, oh, you're going to learn the lessons. If you start winning them, you learn lessons. If you keep losing them, shit's not going well. But look, it's time for Vladar to get a ride. I think we have to be happy with what we've seen from Pelche. He continues to look like he belongs. Huberdeau was finding guys last night. It didn't look like one of those nights where he was trying to throw it, through 3 bodies, making circus plays that send guys the other way. I like that top line's producing nicely. Toffoli and Dubé are on heaters. You're getting 3 lines scoring. But yeah, it's 1 point against a team that's going to miss the playoffs by a significant margin. That sucks.
Let's get to the Pinder report, shall we? Find out what else is going on. Apparently, there are other things in the world other than the Calgary Flames.
Well, you see my hat? Big day.
Yeah, it's a big day. Just an epic troll job. Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life. They want to buy your car. Sell it to them. You'll get paid in 24 hours. No hassle. No obligation appraisal. Wheel up there. Stop in. They'll get it done for you today. And while you're there, check out the new CRV Hybrid. Maybe you want to see the Passport Trail Sport that is in stock. Maybe have a coffee at that unbelievable coffee machine. Gotta give my
sit in the Prelude.
Sure.
Wheel the windows down, that 90. It's in great shape.
They got some magazines in there. Sit down, have a coffee, chill out.
What would you call that little motorcycle thing? It's not a scooter. It's a
it's a mini dirt bike for sure. It's not even a dirt bike. It's kind of a
something you'd see in Italy cruising around one of the islands there. Yeah.
So go up there for sure and see it. And say hi to Tanya and Anthony, everybody up there. Good people. Let's do the Pinder report for Village Honda, shall we?
All right. Well, you heard it on the Afterburner clip that opened the show. Jacob Markstrom had a rough night for the Calgary Flames last night. One where a 3-1 lead late in the third turns into a 1-point performance with a loss in overtime. Did you talk about the chances in overtime? The Flames could have won this thing a couple times. Postrom, Kadri. Boys. Like, that is one thing I wonder. What does this show sound like today, Rhett, if they blow that lead but win it in overtime? Same? Or not?
No, it's not same, because every point's a big deal right now. So, and you can look at the road trip and think, wow, it's pretty good.
Yeah, fine.
As opposed to, and it sometimes it's the opponent, right? Or
like New York,
if you beat a team,
it's just like tip your cap. It's the Rangers.
Yeah.
But you lose to Detroit, and you lose twice to Chicago, and you needed overtime to beat Columbus, and you lose to Ottawa.
They've had tough times this year.
PTSD
too. So the conversation turned to Markstrom and his season. It's been awful. The numbers aren't that different from Vladar on the whole. You know where they are different? When it's a 1-goal game either way, tied up 1 or down 1. Look at these numbers. They are night and day different. And doesn't that feel like what we've seen, where if it's tight, one guy's making a save and the other one you're really worried if he isn't. Don't be too worried by the stat there. It's goals saved above expected or above average. -17 is horrible, like probably some of the worst in the league, and +3 is better than average. So if Vladar's giving you good goaltending in tight spots, Markstrom hasn't. The numbers match the eye test and what we've basically talked about for a couple months here. Telling stat.
They just got to, as soon as, if they get a lead, you leave Markstrom in, and then as soon, oh, shit, back to within one.
We're up 2, get him in. Oh, they're up 1, Vladar back in.
It's like lacrosse, defense, offense, you just shift on the fly. All right, gave up that tough, right within 1. Vladar, get in there.
I'd also like Vladar to start the games because Markstrom early, it was the second shot last night, and I know it's a breakaway, and you feel for him that it is a breakaway, but Vladar had that breakaway against Velano against Detroit shorthanded and made the save. I'm not saying it's certainly a save, but I know who I'm more confident in on a breakaway chance early. It ain't close, boys.
Boy, we're really piling on Markstrom. Just finding any math we can to fire him under the bus.
Here's the standings. You're so negative, Dean. They moved into a playoff spot last night.
Sure they did.
They're a playoff team. All we need is Colorado to get less than 1 point in their next 3 games, right? They do play the Bolts tonight, and they are missing some bodies. More on that in the Betway Bets of the day. But yeah, that's how she's looking right there. As Minnesota moves up, Colorado moves out. They don't have to be world beaters. They just have to be better than one of these damn teams nearby them in the standings the rest of the way. Here's your schedule for the Calgary Flames. They're coming home. They got home late last night. And yes, it is a 3-game homestand that you mentioned. Detroit and New York, again, just a week after their first meetings of the season. They'll close the season series with these 2 Eastern Conference foes. And then the Monday 2 o'clock matinee for Family Day, Rhett. Hope you're celebrating. It's President's Day down there? What is it? It's a holiday there. Yeah, you're muted again. Classic.
It's definitely a holiday, but I don't know which one it is.
All right. You want some uplifting Flames news, guys?
Sure do, Ryan.
Let's go to Boston.
Need it.
Okay.
Bean Pot. They play 4 Boston college teams: Boston College, Boston University, Northeastern, Harvard. Every year a tournament. Matthew Coronado and Harvard all the way to the finals where they faced Northeastern last night. Let's go to the highlights. Watch Coronado. Bang! There's one. Ties the game.
Harvard.
Harvard bar.
He's so wicked smart going to Harvard.
Devin Levi is a Sabres prospect, isn't he, Rhett? Sam Reinhart deal. And then one's good, but you know what's better? 2. Now, they did lose in a shootout. I believe the final score was Northeastern 1 more than the Coronados. He's having a monster sophomore season, fellas. I think they're pushing hard to sign this guy the moment Harvard's season ends. And he's kind of what they don't have. He's a shooter, a finisher. And I don't know what he looks like at the NHL level, but you start rolling that contract immediately here. Get that first year burnt on the entry level. Get him here. Let's go. Good prospect. 13th overall pick a couple years ago. Pick after Sillinger, remember?
Maybe he wants to, Harvard guy, stay and get his...
You could wait till the summer of 2025 and pick your spot, or you could be done your entry level in the summer of 2025.
There's more to life than hockey, Ryan. Maybe he wants to... Maybe
he wants to be a doctor. He doesn't even like hockey.
Perhaps. Yeah. Orthodontist.
Maybe he's
podiatrist.
Talking to Dr. J. He wants to go work the laser.
Could be, yeah.
Why would I play hockey when I could help people to stop snoring?
Snoring, yeah.
They don't offer that.
Change people's lives here.
I looked at it when I was thinking about going.
Yeah.
So that's at least some good news for the Calgary Flames. And I believe the Wranglers are at home against Abbotsford, opening a little midweek.
Oh, that'll be helpful for sure. That should help them get in the playoffs. That's good.
Just awesome. NHL news, Alexander Ovechkin's leaving the Capitals, Rhett. What? Attending to a family matter. The health of a loved one. Okay, so that out of the blue this morning. Less surprising, our boy Vladdy Gavrikov, he's also going to be sitting. He's not attending to health matters. They're attending to his health because they're going to trade his ass.
Yeah, he's getting dealt.
And
pack your what?
Pack your shirt.
Right.
Yeah. Alex will be very excited about this as, what would you call him? A starlet, a sweetheart, a rom-com champion?
Yeah, he's, everybody loves Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds on
Except
Valentine's
you, Bo.
Day has awarded his final rose, and it goes to the Remington group.
I love the Remington group. What a pair. What a matchup that's going to be.
Now, I do think, how many guys in the history of time have been able to like talk to multiple groups of billionaires and say, give me your best offer and I'll be the front man for your group? Because Gary's basically said, we'd like to have Reynolds involved with the ownership group, whoever it may be. Like what are the offers he's getting? Like 5% of the franchise for free? Like this is an incredibly enviable position he's been in. Amazing. Welcome to Wrexham. Welcome to Canada. They're going to get a rink downtown too. That team's not going to suck nearly as much in 4 years. Be fun to go to. 5 years, new rink.
I like Ryan.
Yeah. No, good for him.
It's good for him.
Yeah.
I don't like him. He's from Ottawa.
I don't think he's from there, is he?
I thought he's like Vancouver.
He's a Vancouver guy, yeah. Sure.
I
saw him in a cafe once.
Why don't they sell him
On the
Canucks?
topic-
That'd be better.
On the topic of the deadline, we're now 17 days away because yesterday we were 18 days away. Byron Bader's Calgary guy, hockeyprospecting.com, a reminder of what the value of a draft pick is. So I like to, once a year, retweet this guy. So the light blue picks, that's your first round. An NHLer, by the definition of his website, Rhett, 200 games. That's it. A star, 3/4 of a point per game over the course of your career as a forward. 0.45 year defensive. Either way, we get the point. The value of these picks drops off steadily after, the top 20. I'm not saying trade your first, not saying trade your second. At what round are you comfy adding a depth player? Or is it screw it, don't invest anything in this team? Like you can hit
all of my percentage chances, and I don't need the star. That's fine. If I have a 10% chance in round 6 of getting an NHLer, I want it.
Okay. So that's your Brett Ritchie type stuff there. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Brett Ritchie. It's not McDavid or Brett Ritchie.
No, of course not. But it's a 10% chance of being a 200 game guy.
That's fine.
You know what's great though? It's 7.4%. That's where they took Dustin Wolf. At beyond that, Theo Fleury. Round
What
4,
the hell do you mean?
Johnny
There's
Gaudreau.
zero. So there's never been an NHL guy drafted in the 7th round. That
It would be less than 0.1%. Less than 0.1%. So you probably have like a Lundqvist in the 7th round. I can't think of anyone
Joe
else.
Mullen was undrafted.
No, this isn't about undrafted players. So you don't trade undrafted
Wasn't
picks.
there-
Only the draft picks you
Wasn't
trade.
some of those Red Wings guys in the 7th round?
would have
I
a
thought?
Datsuk there.
Alfredsson?
Was it Sederberg?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
0.009 or something.
Listen, I'm not a
0.09.
numbers nerd. I go with my gut, speak my mind, and try to.
What does your
make
gut
sense.
tell you about CFL free agency, Rhett, as the bonanza?
My
has
gut,
already begun?
my gut tells me that you should have led with that because that's big news, buddy. You dropped the ball.
Well, and even bigger news than CFL free agency. What would be more CFL-y than league news overshadowing CFL free agency? The Alouettes are now owned by the team.
Oh, shit!
The
We
second
own
time in
another
3
team?
years they don't have an owner in this 9-team league.
Well,
If it
congrats.
sounds janky, it's because it is. CFL-y, folks.
This is big news,
Hey,
buddy.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, we'll throw in the Owls.
We'll
The
throw in the
Alouettes.
Owls. Free of charge.
Will you
We
take it?
just want you to flip a coin at kickoff for the opener. That'll be worth it alone.
I thought it was a big deal in Montreal for a while. Weren't people going and watching?
It kind of is. I just don't know that owning it's a good deal.
Calvillo?
I'm
think
sure
if it
it's
was,
great
though-
to go to the games there.
Yeah, they were a very good team. They had
Calvillo.
Calvillo and Pringle, and they were winning and
And
all
it's
that. But even still, they were at that smaller
Like
stadium.
18,000 seats. It's like
Was it even that much? I don't even know because
It
it was
was
at
tiny,
McGill or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's
so
still there. They just expanded a little to get it over 20. Not ideal.
I'm not. Hey, for all you CFL fans, enjoy the day.
I'm enjoying it. And you know who's really excited to cash in? Our boy Sean Lemon. Lemon drops, baby.
The Lemonator.
Look at he's got.
Yeah, I know.
He's enticing teams.
Yeah,
Don't have the lemon tweet. That's fine. Okay.
that's there.
Finally, couple kickers to go out on.
Nice.
Now, you're familiar with dash cams, Rhett? People have cameras that like on their cars, so if something happens on the road, you can see what's happening.
I was watching. I showed my son a video today of a dash cam that had. There was a bear in New Hampshire trying to get her 4 little cubs across the street. It was lovely.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a big.
Here's something
big
less
animal.
cute. Someone was tailing you in Buffalo and caught you in the act here.
Oh,
Camp, because he's a big deal now. He's going to alumni events. He doesn't know he's got. Look at the back of the dump truck. So it's up. It's on the unload and tilt.
you got to put that.
There's the
retro.
overpass. Hiya!
Oh.
Rhett.
How don't you know?
idiot?
You got to know when
Who's
the back of your dump truck's up.
Listen, there's a couple dummies in this video. Who's that idiot pulling up behind there, having to
Stay
hammer
out
on
of
the
the way.
brakes? You didn't notice? Like,
It's
come on.
Someone's driving a
man.
tower around.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
so let me ask. You're on a freeway. That guy is in front of you with the friggin' dump truck things right up. Are you racing up beside him to tell him, hey, you're hooking trucks up? Or are you waiting for an overpass to watch that?
I need to know how much horsepower I have because I'm not going to be beside that when it hits.
You might become an influencer if you just wait and make this video. You might get rich. Could be a...
You're famous on TikTok, right?
Can you imagine
viral.
that trucker, all the shit he's got in his cab? He'll have super big gulp and some corn nuts and corn chips and probably a dog, his piss bottle in there. Fucking boof!
Now,
Shit all over the place.
Rolling his own cigs in there.
In today's world, should there not be some sort of sensor that goes off? Hey,
A beep
idiot.
boop?
Yeah.
There should be a beep boop.
It doesn't look too new, I got to be honest.
Like something annoying
You're an
like
idiot.
that.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And finally,
Hey, Rhett, what would it sound like?
listen up. I know at some point you're going to return to Canada. I know
I can't wait.
whatever misdemeanors
In handcuffs, but he will return to Canada.
whenever your legal issues are sorted and you are free to move about the continent, I've got an event for us. It's
It better not be fucking slap face because I'm not coming.
no, it's now it is in Edmonton, but you don't need to wear a top.
I'm not going to Edmonton either. That place is...
So here's the Edmonton
Yes!
rules for pools. All patrons are permitted to go topless in city-operated pools if they so wish. We'll see you at West End.
Ta 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 ta.
Meep, 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 meep. Please put your top on. Please put your top back on. It's the Pinder Report, villagehonda.com. Good people at Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall. Your dealership for life. You're selling, you're buying your car. They want to see you. Go and see them today. And again, that new, I'll probably hear from Anthony and Tandy. That they've been waiting. The anticipation is big for the brand new Honda Accord, the new redesign and everything. It's already one of the best-selling sedans in the world.
All time, baby.
And they are going to unveil the new one very soon. Stop by the Northwest Auto Mall and Village Honda for more details. It's the Pinder Report.
Lots there.
Where do you find that? There's good.
Now,
Where do you find that's like that makes its way to you?
I have some very disturbing tentacles out in the universe where I find weird things.
All patrons. I like this. Please do take a cleansing shower.
Yeah. But by all means,
And then hang your gross rack out if you choose. All your flop sweat and your boob sweat.
get those freezer bags out. Let's go.
Gross. I mean, if they say that, if that's the city of Miami putting that out,
it's like, oh, it's a topless beach. Here are the rules. This is a city pool. Trying to teach my 6-year-old how to do the backstroke. Come on.
E-Town, is it? Okay. Fair enough. It's Valentine's Day, fellas.
I failed.
You know what I did yesterday? Got ahead of it.
Did you really? Come on.
Yesterday.
Literally?
Stop getting ahead of it. It's 24 hours out. What are you talking about? Way ahead
I
of
showed
it.
up at home with flowers yesterday.
Uh-huh.
The house smells brilliant. And now today I just need to pen a
What
card.
the hell's that got to
or
do
get
with
to
you?
Villanova.
Oh, God. Way ahead of it.
I'm just saying, like you're running out of time here. You don't want to be wheeling out to the old drug mart at 11:58 here.
Well, no. What we could tell you is if what's in there? Some red hearts.
Lube?
No, this is what I got because I love popcorn, so I got a popcorn bucket. That was
It's a nice hat.
Valentine's. Yeah.
Yeah. You put your weed in there.
Dumbo.
Vinanova.com. Here's the thing. If you go to the website and put in Barber, you're not going to have that stuff delivered today. It's just not. You've waited too long. Unlike Pinder, you didn't get ahead of it. What you can do, though, if you're like, get after it. Again, it's a podcast. I don't know when you're listening to this, but if you happen to be listening within a few hours of this, Vinanova, second level, Stephen Avenue Place, Calgary's only lab-grown diamond specialists. That's all they do, and they are the best at it. The savings are out of this world, upwards of 80% in some cases. Earrings, necklaces, bracelets, rings, it's everything. Go and see Justin. Go and see the staff. They'll walk you through what it looks like. You're either saving money or you're getting way more bang for your buck. It makes no sense to do anything other than go and see them at Vinanova.
Can I offer a little piece of advice as well? It may be almost more important to go to Vinanova if you're listening to this in the future and you forgot.
If it's not today.
Yeah. Like
you could pull that off. Babe, have I got a day planned for you? And you'll only know about Vinanova. We're going out for dinner? Really? Where? It's surprise.
Downtown. Yeah.
You're going to love it. It's your favorite food. And then we're going to go and do this, and we're going to Vinanova.
Ooh.
All right, so you can save this. Justin will help you save this. Look at that. You throw that on somebody's finger.
Made the day.
You know what's happening.
Valentine's Day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't get clipped by the overpass. Get your butt down there.
That's right. Good people over at Vinanova. Great supporters of Barn Burner. Good to have them on board.
Saved a lot of Christmases, got to be honest.
Yeah.
Our boys.
What do you have? It's not Ask Rhett, but I do wonder if people are wondering what to do for their Valentine's Day, Rhett. Maybe a last minute, if not Vinanova, what's a last minute quick little? Can you swing by the dollar store and get something? Do you like a
Dude,
card?
I say it every get
every
your
year.
pen out. Get your pen out. Rub your forehead. Put some damn GD thought into it and make a love note. It's a love letter. You did it in high school. You did it in grade 8. You can do it again. Put your thoughts.
He's an old poet, this guy. He's a honey
is.
dripper. He's a
On the paper,
romantic.
yeah.
Don't be fooled.
No.
Have you ever serenaded the shoveler? Because I know you do love to sing. There's
No.
stand outside the window.
You are so beautiful.
I had a girlfriend in Saskatoon once, and I actually did I broke into the garage and got the ladder out to the second story window, and
No.
with the rose and in my teeth, a heart in my teeth.
Yeah.
This guy.
And then you did the
And then he took it
Home
down
Alone.
to the next block.
Jeez, I'm shit faced, and I was like, "Woof! I'm up here pretty high."
Of course, yeah, Jesus. Babe.
I could fall.
I know.
Your window's higher than Jennifer's. Oh, hey.
Let's do some Valentine's Day Betway bets, and we'll call it a day, shall we? You feel it? You feeling it?
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of sniffing around something. I'll show you what I got for
Double
tonight.
down last night.
Had the Tyler Toffoli anytime goal, had the Kachuk point, didn't get the Flames victory, however. Tonight, Jets are hosting the Kraken. The Jets have one of the best home records in the league. The Kraken, this is their last game of a road trip. They lost in Long Island, lost to the Devils, lost to the Rangers, lost to Philadelphia. Now it's Winnipeg before heading home. They're gassed.
Coming back to earth.
They're done.
Regulation
The
victory.
Kraken have crashed.
Plus 105.
Cracked.
for the Jets at home. And then this one, the Panthers at the Blues. Matthew Tkachuk loves St. Louis, doesn't he?
Oh, you're right.
He
It's going to be a lovin'.
Loves St. Louis.
And they're already selling guys.
And the Bruins are at the Stars.
Oh.
A Chucky goal, a Pasternak goal, plus 240.
I think this is, Pass is ready. They
Yeah.
had that big, long break. They only played one game last week. He's ready to explode.
Should be sobered up by now.
Ooh.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, love it. I've got some overlap there. I'm going to start in Bruins and Stars as well. I don't know that you're going to find a Boston puck line at plus 200 the rest of the year. They might not do it, but that's a big number. Boston throwing an empty netter past it? Sure. Plus 200 for the puck line, which is Boston minus 1.5. Also, it's Valentine's Day, and we're all, as Calgarians, in love with Braden Point. What a wonderful hockey player, human Calgarian he is. 2-point night against the Avs. They steamrolled the Avs 5-0 last week. Avs limping in. No Makar, no Manson, no Eric Johnson. That's 3 defensemen missing. Still no Landeskog. Power play point for Point, plus 140. Spit in the hot fire.
It's your Betway Bets of the day.
2 for 2 yesterday.
Get it on your phone, B19. Betway Bets of the day. So you got flowers.
Got flowers. And then I got the card today. Pour out my heart.
What kind of flowers?
Yeah. A nice bouquet with some roses in it.
A bouquet or like roses or like?
It's a bouquet with roses, eh?
Like, did you order it ahead or you just swing by someplace and grab some?
I just want to.
Yeah, that's what's not judging.
No, I did. The house.
Hey man, you're better. You're way better than I did. I can show you what I got. Crickets.
You got the rest of the day. Get going.
I'm on the hot seat right now. I got to get out. We can be done so I can get out of this.
You dropped the ball, buddy.
People at home.
So Vina Nova's in Buffalo. He's up the creek here.
So what are you going to do? What's you got to have some sort of plan. You're not just going to head out to the flea bag shopping mall there in Buffalo and start wandering around.
Valentine's is not a big day at the Warner abode.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Every day is Valentine's Day when you're married to a romantic like the Rhettster.
When you show up, when you're always loving, there's Valentine's is nothing.
You've lost that love and feeling.
Something about that in the pre-show.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Gone. You had a nice, and we'll end. It's kind of a sad note, but it's a nice note. It's heartwarming. You mentioned last night on Afterburner about you were giving your cheers for BK Beaufort Liquor. Your buddy Monty, kind of a nice story there, and we'll end on that today.
Am I supposed to say something, or are you?
Yeah. No, you can tell me the story.
Well, tomorrow, boy, this sounds terrible. I think it's the 8th anniversary of my good friend Steve's passing. Terrible situation. His son was born a week after.
Steve Montador.
Steve Montador. But his son Momo last week got out for Morrison got out for his first ever skate hockey practice. I got a video of it. It brought tears to my eyes, and I know that Steve would be so proud of seeing his little guy out there. So that's my Valentine's. That's what I think about on Valentine's Day.
There you go. We appreciate all you. I mean, it's to get
also
all sappy,
I better say this. Yeah. I got to say this because my brother-in-law, his birthday was on Valentine's Day, so it's a sad day as he's passed away as well. So it is not overly festive at our home. Not to leave it.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, cherish the people you love.
Damn right. Enjoy your family. Enjoy those around you. Have a great day. We're back tomorrow, everybody. We'll see you.
Oilers suck.
There you go.